the excellent guide of all sentient beings, the Dharma King of the three realms, Your Holiness, the 42nd Sakya Dana Vajramuchi, the 77th throne holder of Mochen Vajradhara, His Eminence Monastic Muche, an illustrator of Sarva lineage, His Eminence Shakuni Muche, along with our precious Pamela, the venerable Kimbos and Trubos and representatives of various monastic institutions, honorable members of Federal Parliament, honorable members of Provincial Assembly, and all the executive members, also all the officers and representatives from different offices, distinguished guests and our kind foreign sponsors, and to my dear parents, students, and all brothers and sisters who have gathered here. Me, on behalf of all the Sangha members of Chode Monastery, would like to extend my warmest welcome and many greetings on the history occasion of the inaugural ceremony of our newly built monastery here in Kagbeni. Sakya, which means grey art, but is also known as Sakya school of Buddhism, which originates with the holy lineage of Khon and luminous light. Sakya tradition has many masters who are all Manjushri. Some are also Avalokiteshwar and Vajrapani. But in our common eyes, we see them as women. It's our fortune that we can still afford such a gurus in this time because they hold many great teachings that give us ultimate happiness of Buddhahood. So today, on this auspicious visit of His Holiness, who also belongs to this special lineage, I would like to briefly read the short biographies of the 5 founding masters of Sakya. Ngawang was born in 1092 to Father Khongo and Mother Majik Shamusenamgi. As soon as he was born, the great master Namkhauba took him in his hands and praised him as the emanation of Avalokiteshvara. At the age of 12, he did a retreat on Manjushri under the guidance of the great master Barilotsawa. Appearing before him, an emanation of Manjushri taught the instruction of parting from the four attachment. Since this time, there began the Manjushri's continuous emanation in the Khon lineage till the end of existence. He received the entire Tantric and Pit instructional teachings, which came from the lineages of the four great translators, Mal Lozawa, Bari Lozawa Rinjinta, Homi Lozawa Shagya and Lozawa Rinjisangba extra. Even though Ngawang preferred to take monastery vows according to Gichua's final advice, the great master Thupten advised him that he would be of more benefit if he did not take monastic vows so that he could continue the lineage. Therefore, he married 2 sisters of the Yumsawa family, the senior wife Machigudin, Yabatu Sonamthewa and Rapajalsum, who are also great masters of Sakya. He produced many disciples, among them being 3 who were accomplished, following the secrets of these teachings, many Sonamthewa and Rapajalsum. As the great master Tommy said, he produced the profound oral transmissions in Lamdi teachings. Hence, he possessed great kindness in preserving the precious vehicle of Vajrayana. In short, by the 4 means of attracting disciples, he dedicated his whole life solely for the benefit of Dharma and sentient beings. When he was 67 years old, in 1158, on the 14th day of the 9th month, he passed into the pure realms of Sukhavati, Podala, Odiana, and the copper-colored mountain. Lobe Rinpoche Sonamzemo, who is the 4th Sagyatisim, was born with many miraculous signs in 1142 to Father Ngawang and Mother Machigudin. He was able to speak Sanskrit right after his birth. At that time, above the door of the stupa in Bodh Gaya, India, several Daganis wrote that Manjushri's emanation Sonamzemo was born in Sakya. This was announced by the Pandita Devamati of Gaushandi and later discovered in Tibet after an investigation and search. When Sonamzemo was a small child, he recollected 11 past life ascending Panditas and sages, including Pandita Durjaya Chandra. When he was 3 years old, he could recite by heart the root verses of the Hai Vajra and Chakrasamvara Tantras. At the age of 17, Sonamzemo could recite by heart all the 40 classes of Tantra. Thus, his reputation as true master spread even to the banks of river Ganga. Afterwards, he went to the great center of learning in Sangpu, where he primarily studied the 3 collections of scriptures and the entire spectrum of science for the 12 years with a lot of knowledge, Chapa Chumbo. Even among Chapa's 4 senior disciples, he was dearest to Chapa. Sonamzemo left 3 volumes of texts regarding the Sutra, Tantra, and other sciences. From 1158 to 1159, he held the Sakya throne. In 1182, on the 10th day of the 7th month, attended by elaborate receptions from House of Draconis, without leaving his body, he passed into Sukhavati, the pure land of great joy. Chode Rinpoche was born in 1147 on 18th day of the 7th month of the fire revealed year in the 3rd Rajung cycle to Father Sakya and Mother Machi. Since his childhood, he was special. When he was 8 years old, he received the vow of celibacy from Changsem Dawa Gyaltsen. From then on, even during tantric feast offerings, he never ate meat and drank alcohol, thus observing pure conduct more properly than fully ordained monks. At the age of 10, he memorized the 20 verses on the vows and the Lotus Sadhana. Therefore, everybody calls him the great intelligent one, thus mesmerizing those known to be scholars. The great Sajabalama Sajakunganiba lovingly took care of him by means of his embodiment of wisdom and transmitted to him the instruction on the path and his result received via the closest lineage, making Trapa Gyaltsen the honor of the 3 lineages of the Lamde teachings. The great Kashmiri Penye Shageshiri Badara viewed Chesun Trapa Gyaltsen as the true Guya Samaja and received his teachings. He has many students. In addition to his chief spiritual son Sajapanita Punga Gyaltsen, 4 with the surname Trapa and 4 who were diligent in giving their tantric vows. Chesun Trapa Gyaltsen wrote 4 volumes of teachings regarding the Sutra, Tantra, and general sciences as a gift for future disciples. For 43 years, from 1172 to 1215, he held the Sakya throne. In 1216, at age 70, on the 12th day of the 8th month of the fire rate year in the 4th Rajung cycle, in joyous altitude, he passed into Parinirvana in Korum Kongam, the same place where he had been born. Sajapanita Punga Gyaltsen was born in 1182 to Father Palchen Epo and Mother Nidisha. It is said that over 25 lifetimes, Punga Gyaltsen was born as a Pandita guided by Manjushri. But until age 15, to ordinary eyes, he appeared to learn all the teachings and practice of the Sakya tradition from Chode Rinpoche Trapa Gyaltsen. At age 27, Sajapanita received full ordination as a Buddhist monk. He learned the 5 great sciences: Buddhist philosophy, grammar, dialectics, medicine, and mechanical arts and crafts for many Panditas who were attending Penye Shageshiri. Penye Shageshiri and all his attendants were extremely pleased with Punga Gyaltsen's profound wisdom, and thus he was titled the first Pandita in Tibetan history. Word of his well-known proficiency spread beyond Tibet to be heard in India. A famed Indian scholar, Harinanda, together with 5 other Indian scholars, came to Kirong to debate with Sajapanita. With philosophical references and reasonings, Sajapanita defeated all 6 of them in debate and logic. As a result of newfound knowledge during their defeat, they all cut their long hair and became Buddhist monks to study more. Considering education of the people to be more important than demonstrating supernatural or miraculous powers, he began to teach on both spiritual and natural subjects, and with his qualities of power, strength, and energy, converted the Mongolian Empire into Buddhist kingdom. In order to guide and enlighten followers in the future, Sajapanita wrote many works, including the discrimination of the 3 vows, the gateway for the wise, elegant sayings, and clarifying the sage's intent. In 1251, Sajapanita Punga Gyaltsen passed into Parinirvana with magnificent signs, which had happened only once during the Parinirvana of Lord Buddha Shakyamuni. Dogin Chode Papa was born in 1235 to Father Sankasandam Gyaltsen and Mother Machikungi. When he was only 3 years old, he was able to teach the Lotus Sadhana by heart. Thus, people praised him by giving him the name Phakpa. From childhood, he gave talks in public on the stories of Buddha's previous lives and the Vajra Tantra, as well as other teachings on Sutra and Tantra. Most scholars at that time were humbled by his wisdom. At the age of 10, Phakpa followed his uncle Sajapanita to meet the Mongolian emperor. At the age of 17, Sajapanita appointed Phakpa to succeed him. The Mongolian emperor and his ministers were so impressed by Phakpa's demonstration of miraculous powers that they became his followers. Moreover, becoming increasingly devoted to him, the emperor suggested that all other Buddhist schools in Tibet should be converted to the Sakya tradition. But Phakpa, being very open-minded, told the emperor that all other Buddhist traditions in Tibet should continue to exist alongside the Sakya tradition. At the age of 21, by a river in the border area of Tibet in China called Tele, he was fully ordained as a monk with Nye Thangpa Trapa Sangye as a preceptor. In addition, Pakpa received and learned all the teachings, explanations, and knowledge in Sutra and Tantra from masters such as the Kashmiri Pandita Sri Tathagata Bhadra, the translator from Mustang Shira Rinchen, Shiv Namga Trapa, VaraGung Lopen in Nepal and Galo, king of yogis. By ordaining around 1,000 suitable people every year from different nations, China, Tibet, Myanmar, Thupten, Chang and Mongolia, he contributed to Buddhism in general. When he visited the holy fire-peaked mountain of Manjushri while on pilgrimage to China, Sajaparita appeared before him in person and made the prediction that Papa would achieve attainment of Mahamudra, the Great Seal. In addition, he devised a new Mongolian script based on the Tibetan script. In both political and spiritual fields, he made many significant contributions. Finally, in 1280, at the age of 46, on the 22nd day of the 3rd month of the Iron Dragon year in the 5th VaraGung cycle, Pakpa entered Parinirvana. That's the brief biographies of the 5 founding masters of Sakya. Thank you very much.